Well, you two, it's your boy Darius. I want to thank you guys for watching. You guys could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I really appreciate that. Make sure to subscribe to your boy, leave a like. You guys any recommendations, leave in the comment section, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. What about to do right now? About react to "Do All Autistic People Think the Same" by Spectrum, aka Jubilee. Spoiler alert: we really don't think the same. Those of you guys know me know that I have Asperger's, aka which is also known as high functioning autism. And it's good, but it's like I always want to be considered normal. You get what I'm saying? Like all my life, I want to be considered normal. I didn't realize, like that. I was never normal, and I'm never going to be normal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always going to be different, and that's okay. That's okay because I'm not meant to be normal. You know what I'm saying? I never meant to be normal because if I was, I wouldn't be Darius. But I'm starting to come to terms of my autism. Like say I've been following like some of the other people. I watched Love Is on the Spectrum on Netflix. It was a really good show. But so I'm starting to learn. I tried to cope more on my spectrum lately. So but enough of me blah blah blah. Everybody check out this video. Let's get to it.
Hey, good humans, Jason here.
Yeah, let's get straight to the point.
Today,
but you could
the episode.
personally, like if I'm gonna refer to myself, I'm gonna say autistic person, but you can say either or, and I won't give a crap.
All right. Yeah, let's pull up a little bit. Let's close this caption now. I don't speak Espanol.
I'm 19. I was diagnosed late with autism.
Nice.
There's no way to look autistic. It's just a whole spectrum of people.
I bet you that person non-binary, which is cool.
At first, I was really unsure about it because it sounded like it was bad, but I started to realize
it's not bad.
It's more like me than it is a disease.
Yeah, not a disease.
I'm 23. Autism is more
She's
prevalent
cute.
than people think, and just if we can make the world more aware and acceptable towards it, it'll just be a lot easier for everybody.
Exactly, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at autism as, like as my home persona. You know what I'm saying? Autism is part of me, but I'm not part of it. Does that make sense?
I'm Christopher Carroll.
I'm 38.
38 years old.
See, if he could get it, so why can't I? I'm 30. I'm about to turn 34 in a few weeks.
I'm Yoni. I'm 19, and I am an artist of all types. I really am proud to have autism. It makes me see the world differently, and that's totally awesome.
My name is Joseph.
Ooh.
Just because I communicate differently.
Yeah, he's not verbal.
My name is Bella. I'm 22 years old. In high school, I couldn't really talk, so I was like nonverbal. I've just become more confident in myself and
that's what it
being able
is.
to talk to other people.
I consider the term special offensive. 3, 2, 1, go.
Where would I put, like, I would say somewhat disagree. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on how you use it. You know what I'm saying? You use the term special, like, oh, Derek, you're a special person. You'll be great. It all do the content. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But if you use the term like, oh, you're special, which mean, oh, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're all that. That definitely is offensive. But it all determines how offensive what the content of the term is. Does that make sense? Look at her.
I do find it to be somewhat of a bad label. This person is special.
Yeah.
Too different to function, I guess. It's like when I perform in the performances I've been in, people begin to whisper in the audience, whisper among themselves.
I think that's the thing. I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't mean to interrupt this guy, Chris. I think that's the thing, I don't want to be looked at as special. I don't want to look at this person with autism. I don't want to be looked at as a normal person. Is that too much of freaking ass? I said freaking, not F word. Try not to curse. Come on, I want to show this to my mom.
Special could be used as something good, but it can also be used as, something like, oh, like, why aren't you hanging out with them? Oh, because they're special. Like,
they're the
they're less than, and it's We're not less than. We're different.
I feel like
We are different, yes.
People feel better, like it's like the right word to say, and like it just sounds nicer to them. But in reality, I think it's just more offensive.
It is.
Using it
Okay,
in a
yeah.
bad tone and inflection.
Moving to somewhat
When I
agree.
think about special in the terms of autism, I think about special ed. And for me, it's like, why is it special to have some extra accommodations or to learn a different way?
That's
like,
a good point.
It's not special ed, it's extra support ed.
The word special can mean pretty much anything. It's just the way that people take it, and I don't think that's fair.
What do you have to say? What my dude have to say?
We are all special.
I like that answer, Joe.
Yeah.
What do you say? Oh.
Special.
What do you say? I'm sorry.
We are all special.
That's true. We are all special, and not just for us people with autism, but with other people as well. The normal people, they're special too. You know, we are all unique. That's a great term. Not special, unique, because we are all unique in our own way.
I like that answer, Joe.
Yeah. Yes.
I have trouble making friends.
Yeah, agree.
3, 2, 1.
Agree. Definitely agree.
It's hard for me to make friends because I am nonverbal.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't really start making friends until I started college because I wasn't like in a lot of activities and stuff. I just always wanted to be by myself, and I always found it hard to talk to people.
For the longest time, especially when I was in middle school, I had a bit of a hard time making friends, and so I was basically on my own for a while. But until I went to junior high, I went to a private school. Their whole entire goal was to basically like make a community that are just trying to find friends and stuff like that. So that's why I'm on the somewhat disagree, because it's like I have plenty of friends now, but in the long run, when it came down to middle school, I had a really rough time.
I honestly don't have trouble making friends. I talk to everyone I meet, and everyone I meet I kind of make friends with. I don't know, it just comes naturally to me. I just say, hey, let's be friends. And they're like, yeah, and it happens.
When you first meet somebody, I'm good at the initial like talking and friend thing, but it's when like the long term and it just gets too complicated, and then like also I just find like I don't like a lot of people, and so like of course not a lot of people are gonna like me.
Yeah.
So it's just like somewhat agree.
Well,
I'll say this for me, and I'm only speaking for myself. You know what I'm saying? I can get along with anyone, and I can get along with anyone. I say hi, like I have no problem with like getting along with people. But in terms of actual friends, you know what I'm saying? I don't have too many friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't like hanging out with too many people. But I don't have no problem being on good terms with a lot of people. Does that make sense?
I guess for me, it's just I also have social anxiety, so it's never been
same
for me to
here.
make friends. But I sometimes I just feel better being by myself and doing my own thing. And when you go out and you meet people, you have to really push yourself to to know what to say and to know what not to do, and you don't stim and stuff like that. So it's just harder to go out and have that whole mental energy put towards that when you can just be yourself by yourself. But I do have some friends, so that's why I'm here, not there.
I have a similar problem. When I was younger, I had social phobia, and I spent a lot of childhood just living or playing inside my own head, which didn't exactly seem to help me with people skills.
Yeah.
It can trigger things. You can like trigger a meltdown like you don't want to have to deal with.
Sensory issues.
Period. Yeah, I was just saying I feel,
Being diagnosed with autism helped me understand myself more.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Agree.
Well,
Or it could be
for
strongly
years-
agree.
In years, I was wondering, like, why is the music in the car where no one else is saying it's loud? Why is it hurting me? Why can't I make friends easily? Why am I not picking up on sarcasm?
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
it really
me.
did help me understand myself because I stopped feeling so bad.
My body and brain sometimes work against each other.
Yeah, that's true.
When I first read what do they call it? It's not symptoms. Like
Criteria.
What?
Criteria.
Yeah,
That's
the
a good term.
criteria for autism. It was like mind blowing because it was like reading something I didn't even know existed and could be put into words. Like I said, I thought everybody was just dealing with it and hiding it better. And I've turned to so much more self-love since I found out about my diagnosis just 2 years ago. It's just been like probably the most freeing thing for me.
I actually used to have meltdowns like daily. I would just get so angry and nobody knew why.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Yeah,
know
that's
why.
I used to have meltdown
I
too.
realized that after I got diagnosed with
I used to have meltdown too, and I realized, like it was a frustrating thing for my mom, and for my dad. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? I always feel bad. Because it's like, I always wonder, like, do they ever want like a son that is, normal, who doesn't have autism? I do wonder that sometimes.
Because everybody around me noticed how less angry, how less my meltdowns were, because you start to know how to prevent them, because you start to know what's making you melt down.
Well, yeah, that's right.
I think I have to say I somewhat disagree because I've not actually been diagnosed. No one's tested me for autism.
Really?
So what do we go by? Just simply what a doctor happens to say on any given day? Or
what made you want to come today?
Yeah.
A few doctors have said I have autism. Although at least twice as many doctors I've known have said I do not.
What do you believe?
Yeah.
As of now, I believe I do have autism somewhere. But I can't say I agree with the diagnosis because I don't actually have a diagnosis.
Are you planning to get one in the future?
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who will give me one.
That's a big issue, actually. They're crazy expensive and crazy hard to get.
It's
like a whole ordeal.
I got one from my psychiatrist because I was already under his care.
Yeah, it really does help me, especially to find a different route with education. Like, I had a huge problem with mathematics and stuff like that. And
I didn't. I actually was great in math.
I'm going to the school that helps typically with autism. It's like now I'm doing statistics. It does really help. It really helps me to understand how my brain works and how I can get help. So.
And because I know that my brain works differently, I see the world in a more creative aspect, thinking outside of the box. And I'm over here I'm outside of the
You can't even find the box.
Out of the box.
Exactly. Yeah.
Circle. I'm in the galaxy. Excuse me. The shapes are around me, and I'm outside of all of them.
I when I was young, people basically my family, they always say, oh, there you always think outside. You're always like this weird guy. You're think outside the box and everything. Like that, that sounds like me. I do think outside the box. Like my brain does work. Yes, strongly agree. Strongly agree. I should not curse because I want my mom to watch this. You know what I'm saying? But I freaking agree. I freaking hate that.
A lot of things. Because I don't have only autism, I have multiple mental illnesses and medical conditions too, and everyone...
I agree, Chai. Not only do I last year or a year and a half ago, I was I was diagnosed with pure anxiety disorder as well. So it's us with autism, we'll tend to have more of a mental thing. But I freaking hate when they pity us, man. I really do, because it's there is not this, or there is not that, you can't comprehend. It's like, no, mother effer, I am a lot smarter than what you think. I can handle things. It's like, tell me what's freaking going on.
Tell them
I'm not stupid.
How can you be happy? Your life sounds difficult. I'm like,
it's not difficult.
It's just what I know. It doesn't have to be the end of my world. And
that's true. You're right. I agree with that.
Pity for the things I have, because just because I'm disabled doesn't mean my life necessarily sucks because of that.
Yeah, I only somewhat disagree because I grew up really obsessively masking. I don't think people pity me. I think the opposite. I think people have very high expectations of me.
See, I'm not good at masking.
I can kind of mask and present that. I think that most people forget I'm autistic and don't treat me with some of the help I need and have a lot of patience for it.
I think that few people don't treat me with autism like that. But when I tell them, they should give me that different look.
I'm not believed.
That's what... And when I tell people that I do have autism, they just give me that different look, and they start pitying me, and I don't like that. That's why I don't tell people that I have, I'm on the spectrum. I don't because I don't like people pity me. I think they can tell that I am, but that just
I've even had like therapists try to like convince me I'm not. I have to like teach them about it, and then they say I'm not. So it's very frustrating.
It is. It's freaking frustrating.
Up against the mic.
I can't change the way I am, so instead of pity, I want people to try to understand and accept me the way I am.
It's also just like, don't pity me, like be with me, like
yes.
be with me in the moment, like don't feel bad for me, like as if you can't do anything, like treat me like I am just a normal person.
Thank
you.
So
like growing up, people used to like baby me, and now like I look at being 22, I look back and it's like they just should have probably treated me like a normal child.
Because that can be a hindrance in itself, people babying you. That can be another added knock that you don't, you know.
Makes me feel like I can't be my own person.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. I get that's why I want to be more independent. Does that make sense? Like, you know, I don't like asking my folks for help. Even like, you know, even when I do need help, you know what I'm saying? I don't like asking them for help because it's like it's like, oh, I always have to run to somebody. That's not. It's like I'm not capable of doing these on my own. Yeah, does that make sense, everyone?
Like they would be like, oh, it's okay, we're all a little autistic or something like that.
I hate that.
It's like, no, I hate that comment so much, and I get it so many times.
I hate that comment too.
Yeah,
we're not all autistic. Just because you have like you relate to like a couple of the things on the traits doesn't mean that you're autistic necessarily. You have to have more than just 3 things, you know.
Yeah.
Then you're just being a person.
Yeah,
you just relate to you. It's like
that's true. That's right about that.
I would rather not have autism. 3, 2, 1, go.
I would say disagree as well. I would say disagree as well. It's like there's some days where I wish I didn't have autism. I admit that. I think we all have that day. Like, oh, I just wish I could be normal. Like, why am I so weird? Like, why am I this person? Why do I have autism? But you realize having an autism is really a blessing.
Because if I didn't have autism, I wouldn't be the same exact person.
That's true. That's true. I actually had to discuss it with my mom because my mom was like, you know, like I asked her like, hey, like, you know, what, like, how would you feel if I if I didn't have autism? She said, hey, she'll tell me, hey, like you never know, like, you know, like you could, like, you know, I'm from the hood, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote. And she said, you know, if you didn't, you probably could have been out on the street. You probably could be in prison. You probably could be like got all these young girls pregnant. So you never know. So so she told me in a way that she was grateful that I did have that I was on the spectrum.
The same person if I didn't have autism, but I think I have to stick with just somewhat because I haven't actually been diagnosed with autism. So.
Another thing is that the issues and the struggles that like I have with being somebody with autism is like that I encounter day to day mostly have to do with the fact that I'm living in a neurotypical world, not that I have autism, if that makes sense. So I would much rather live in a world that's more aware of autism or a less neurotypical heavy world. That would be what I would rather change, not changing myself, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. That makes perfect sense.
I may have autism, but that makes me who I am, and I wouldn't change it if I had the choice.
That's true. Okay. I like Joseph. Joseph is the man.
That's why I prefer diagnosis first language, like autistic person, than people with autism, because personally it's like my autism makes up me. It's not just like a part of me. Like my diabetes is a part of me. My pancreas not working doesn't affect the way I act, the way I am. But my autism affects the way I see the world, the way I process, the way I feel
that makes
things,
perfect sense. That makes perfect sense because like what I'm saying, because I have a particular worldview. And if I didn't have autism, I probably would be I know I would not be the same Darius. So you know what? Like I think my mom is right. It is a blessing.
About things and socialize.
And not hinder. It's a blessing.
Myself, I don't think that being not autistic would make me love myself suddenly. I think it's just about the fact that I just need to work on accepting myself more in general. So I feel like I'd rather have my autism because it's made me me.
Yeah,
It made autism made Darius Darius.
I'm a person with autism, but I also don't care really how people use it. I remember when they started saying like autistic person versus person with autism, I was like, oh, okay.
I don't care that much.
Exactly.
It's just if I had to pick.
I don't either. I don't care that much either.
But if I had to pick personally, like if I'm going to refer to myself, I'm going to say autistic person. But you can say either or, and I won't give a crap.
Same here.
A neurotypical community being like, oh, we just need to be as nice as we possibly can, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like I've never heard an autistic person freak out about it. Really, I always hear neurotypical people freaking out about it.
Makes sense.
Are you connected to other people on the spectrum?
3, 2, 1. Someone disagree. That's me. Someone disagree. I mean, I connect in a sense, but in actuality, I don't really connect with too many people in the world. Does that make sense?
People have the same exact things that I go through, but then also somewhat disagree because there's like higher functioning and lower functioning, so it's kind of hard to.
I agree with Bella.
People that are like, I don't know how to say that.
I got that, yeah, because they're so different. I guess it could be, harder to connect in some degree. But we may not all go through the same exact things. But as a label, like autism, I think we can all like connect to that, and that's how I feel like with the label. With that label, I feel like there's a good sense of community there.
I do agree. It's like although we have different stories about of autism, I believe that we where we can relate to each other and still like
have different perspectives.
Yeah. That's a good term.
Like I feel like, especially right now, it's like we spread apart because we're scared to say that we're autistic. But I believe that
I am.
We need to start to group together and start to educate people, and
I've noticed a rise in communities online
for
autism.
Neurodiversity.
Yeah.
When I first found out, it was like great to like deep dive into the internet and get all these autistic perspectives, and I connected with that online. But then when I went in real life and I started to meet people or started to talk to people more, I felt just kind of isolated again, and I felt kind of like that same thing. I think it's just the same thing.
I have the same experience with Jana. Like I still feel like isolated.
I'm just gonna still kind of feel alienated, and so I just kind of stopped trying after a while.
Yeah.
It helps when you don't have to explain yourself to others, and you can just relax and hang out without any judgment.
You're right. Joseph is right. I like Joseph. Joseph is the man.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, guys, that's a wrap.
All right. Great video. Great video.
You want to all put our hands in? Autism.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Are we actually going to do this?
I guess so. 1, 2, 3.
Autism! Yay!
Hey guys, thanks again for sticking around.
Never thought I would say that out loud, but yay! That was a great video, by the way. You know what I'm saying? As I expect, we're not all think the same. Like we think similarly, but not the same. What do you guys think of this video? Let me know. Comment down below. Leave a like, subscribe to your boy. You can check out my previous video down here of Jubilee. Jubilee. Peace, love, and rock.